Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am known as K Reads, and today I have another Author Indie Spotlight, and I'm so excited about this one. I read this writer back in 2021. So it's been a minute since I read her, and just low-key been a fan ever since. I love basically all her books. She has a traditional book that is out right now that you could get in stores or at your local library, support your local library. And she's just an amazing person inside and out. And I have Miss Mya here with me. So how are you today?
Hey y'all, hey, I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk books and author things. So yeah.
Hey, so let's get into the first question. So the first question I always ask my reader is, how and why did you get started?
I started writing when I was 13, and I started writing because the books that I was reading, the young adult books, they did not have a lot of characters that I can relate to. So I said, I want to see more people like me and who have lived lives like me in the books that I read. So I started writing.
Dope. And so I know you was indie for a while, and then you got with B LovePublications, and you're still with her right now.
Yeah.
So what is it? And I talked to Monica Walters about this too, and she loves her down as well. So what was it about B Love and her publishing company that, one, attracted you to her to where you wanted to be a part of it? And two, what are like the things that you learned since being a part of it?
So I signed to be in the summer of 2021 after I had my first baby. The craziest part is that December of 2020 screenshotted B Love's submission post from a Monica Walters post because I was reading Monica's books down. So I was like, this indie life is kind of tough. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm going to afford the things I can afford. Let me go out on a limb and see if B is where I want to be. Submitted. She said, welcome aboard. And my life has been great ever since. Oops. Literally, she's like the best mentor. She gives me the tough advice in a way that she knows I can accept it because I'm very sensitive about everything that I do. But she gives it to me how she knows I need to take it. And it's just beautiful.
Okay, dope. I love that. So let's get into your books. My favorite book so far from you, even though I read majority of your catalog, I have to say my favorite book is one of your high rated books, I think. Sincerely Her Gangster.
Yes, that's a reader favorite.
I just love that. I just loved it. I think for me, I love the ways that I can't remember don't mind me the main character's name, but when she told her boyfriend at the time that she was pregnant at the coffee shop, and homeboy was just like, okay, what do you want me to do with that? I was like, dude, one, very relatable. Now,
do you hear me? Do you hear me? Yes.
And two, the fact that even though she was upset, she didn't let that get to her because of her family's support.
Exactly.
And that she grew, that she was like, all right, cool, you don't be here, bet whatever. And then she grew that to like, all right, well, I got my family, I got my girls, I'm not gonna let my pregnancy, and I think at the time I don't think she knew she was pregnant with twins, let them get my pregnancy, get me down. And then she met her amazing gangster who basically kind of just swept her feet and let her still be who she wanted to be.
Exactly. Yes, that's so important because in a lot of these books that I read, the main female character sometimes loses herself in the relationship, and I didn't want to let that happen with Honesty because she went through a lot, and that does not need to be diminished or dimmed from this relationship with this man, although he's so great. Yes. I needed her to stand on her own for real.
Because the main thing, he was just like, well, I like, you don't have to do this anymore. She was just like, okay, but I still want to do that. So I still have a job, situation. I still have a business. You could leave me tomorrow and I still have to pay for stuff.
Literally.
So I'm going to do my job. If you want to pay, you can. If you want to do the word, you can. That's fine, but I'm still going to do me. And like you said, you really don't see that in a lot of books nowadays because the majority of the time they're with a person like a billionaire or something like that, they're going to be like, all right, cool, I'm leaving everything behind and starting over. So I love that about Honesty, is that she was just like, I'm putting my foot down. Either you take it or leave it. And obviously he took it. He was like, all right, bet. And I think that's one of the reasons why I think I loved him so much, is because even though I won't say really tried to change her, but tried to change her life, she still went back to the original lifestyle. Love that. And then we have your 2 book series, Brothers Barrett, and then the Love Infusion series. So what made you, and guys, if you haven't read it, the Barrett, is it Barrett?
It's Barrett.
Barrett. What am I talking about? They're more on the urban side. Then the Love Infusion series is more so contemporary romance. So you have 6 amazing guys for one, and then two different books in a totally different genre. So what what made you want to write books like that, and how do you write a perfect book series?
So yeah, with the Barretts, I started out with me like I like to build my characters before I do anything else. So it started out like I needed a good, strong foundation because I wanted to test my pen because I'm not an urban girly in the least. But I said I want to use this series to highlight different like aspects of growing up in the same environment and using your environment different ways, because all three brothers live completely different lives despite being born and raised in the same kind of things. And so for me, the girlies love a good book bait. And so brother series are easy because all you gotta do is give him some BDE and make him swoon over the female character and they're gonna eat it up. So
You're right.
yes, that was my game plan going into that one. And for like the second series, I gave kind of the urban feel. I wanted to give more love. I wanted to focus on love and more contemporary-ish settings, despite the brother getting kidnapped and all that stuff. That doesn't matter. Look, so yeah, with brothers, it's always good to have like tiers. Like the oldest brother has this specific mentality. The youngest brother is always going to get into some stuff because that's what younger brothers. And then that middle brother can either stay on the fence or, you know, he's tipping the scale sometimes too, because King was trouble. That man had my blood pressure going up the entire time I wrote that book. Yeah. It's just I like playing with different ideas. I like to test my pen in different ways. I might stick to like my foundation, but I always try to do things differently for each series that I do.
So, question: Barrett or Love Infusion, if you had to choose?
Ooh, okay. My character's gonna be so upset. But I will say the Barretts are really what catapulted my career. They're my first audiobook deal. So yeah, I gotta stick to my day ones. I gotta stick to my day.
No, you picked it right. Okay, go. And so that's a good thing. So audio girlies, if you love audiobooks, definitely check them out for sure. For sure. So let's before we get into your upcoming book, let's get into your traditional book. How as of right now, knowing that it's out, how are you feeling?
I was so scared because you know traditional girlies are mean. Those reviews be eating them up because you're opening yourself to a whole new world of readers. But the experience was really great. I wrote this book at a time where life was rough. So there's a lot of emotions in this book. And to finally just release it and see how excited people were to get into the lives of these characters that took me through a roller coaster of emotions, it's just so beautiful. Like, it's no longer in my hands, it's in the world, and it's in stores and libraries. Somebody tagged me in the post said, I just got your book at the library. The library is so crazy. I love it.
Great. I love that for you. So, like, what you could talk about? What was the initial process of you getting the book deal to have a traditional book when you're in India?
So it went through B first. They said, hey, she had done a traditional release with this company, and she was like, hey, we see how great your authors are doing. Give us 3 names who also deserve or should catapult their careers into the trad world. And she chose me of all people.
Mm-hmm.
I was so grateful. And so I gave them I submitted 3 options of different books that I was working on and what I could see as being traditionally published. And they enjoyed the idea of a corrupt lawyer and a corrupt detective and a new lawyer. And so when I was writing that book, I was watching All Rise and SVU and all those crime shows. So yeah, I had to lock in on my medical and crime shows to get all the details. But yeah, it was so much fun. It was kind of like crazy because in the indie or like Amazon world, you can get your edits back in 2 weeks and you can drop it. But no, there were so many people in and out of my book, and it was just like, oh, at least I know it's gonna be edited good, because the amount of rough drafts and revisions we went through, I ain't never had to do that with no indie release. It was crazy, but it was a great experience.
Can I notice you, Kimberly Brown, and Cation, right? So I know we have your book in the system, and we have Kimberly Brown's books in the system. Not at my particular library. I know she's in the system, but I don't think we have Kay's book. But I'm gonna try to get it in there because I'm the go-to where if somebody wants a book, they come to me to recommend it. And lately, since I've been there for 2 years now, so since we opened, I've been trying to get a lot more indie books in the library.
It's so beautiful.
Don't have a lot, Like, but they're getting in there. My book, Sweet and Sour series, they just got in last month. So I was like, whoa, and it's in 3 different libraries in the area.
Ooh, that's you.
So I'm trying to definitely get more indie writers in the libraries because it's needed. Indie authors are here too. They're here too. So not only do you need to get them from Amazon, you could pick them up at the libraries.
And libraries are so important. People forget about this. Like back in the day, the library for a reader girl like me, that was the place to be because you could check out 10 books at a time. And in the summertime, when we're out of school, I was going to the library every weekend with my mom. Like those are core memories for people. And when you don't have like access to the internet, the library is there. When you need a place to reset and unwind, the library is there. Like I have always been pro libraries because they are so important.
Yes, they are. I totally agree with you. So let's get into your new book that's coming. So what can you tell us about that?
Okay, so Honey's Special Roux is about a Southern chef and a felon. Marquise has gone through a lot in life. From a young age, he was in and out of the streets. His mom died to an I'm just gonna tell y'all the whole his mom died, so he was put with his uncle. His uncle owns a cartel, but because he wasn't going to school, they said we got to move you out of this home and let's try another family. So he's fostered by his aunt and uncle on the other side of the family. And yeah, he meets Honey because Honey is his aunt's next door neighbor. At first he's like, I don't want to talk to no little ass girl or anything like that. Like, no, mind you, they're only 3 years apart. He acts like he's just some grown man. Baby, you are not. But she breaks down his barriers. She's like, I don't care how different we are. I love you and you love me. Let's just make this perfect. But no, life's in my book, there is reality, and you can't just go out here doing all these crimes without repercussions. So yeah.
And when did that come out?
It'll drop Tuesday, actually.
Hey, congratulations. Happy early release day. So let's get into Black Romance Book Fest. So like I talked to Charlie Harper, she's going to be there. And I know that you've done plenty of book events before, but how are you feeling about this one? Because from the time that even when it got introduced, people have been buying books, like buying tickets. The list, girl, ridiculous. So what are you most excited about? And are you on any panels or anything like that at the fest?
So this will be my first time in Atlanta.
Okay.
And, I only did book signings so that I could sightsee and be in the streets too. I was like, look, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, but then I'm gonna be in these streets. So yeah, I'm super excited because I'll have physical copies of my book dropping on Tuesday. I'm so excited about that. Like, yeah, I'm so excited. And this is the most pre-orders I've ever gotten for an event ever. Dude, the support from these Black Romance Book Fest girlies, I hit a new milestone in my pre-orders. I was so excited. So yes, I'm super excited because like the energy so far and like the excitement and the buildup has been beautiful. And I'm so excited to meet some of the creators and content creators who have supported me on TikTok and Instagram and Threads, and to meet them in person is going to be so cool.
Okay, so who are, out of the list of writers, who is your most anticipated person to meet?
Ooh, I think I'm actually most excited to meet some of my pen sisters for the first time because we've been signed to BLP for a while, and I haven't met everybody because I was pregnant at the last BLP event and I missed everybody. So I'm super excited to meet my pen sisters, and that's so exciting because I love my girls, and so it's exciting to see them in person.
So I ask all my authors a question. If a new reader is watching this and they want to get into your catalog, one, what is the number one book you would recommend them to read?
Okay, so I always have two. So if you like longer books, Sincerely Her Gangster is always a reader favorite. They love the character development and all those things. But if you like a short, like novella, At War with Love will give you some of the same feels at a quicker pace because I'm an insta-love girly at heart. And I love when my characters fall in love in the first chapter and then we see them blossom and go through life together. So yeah, At War with Love if you like novellas, and Sincerely Her Gangsta if you like a book that is over 200 pages.
Dope. Okay, I love that because I'm an Instagram lover too, so that works out for me.
Girl, listen, yes.
Like, give me all the feels real quick. I
Immediately.
Slow burns for me are hit and misses.
Definitely. I don't even like to write them because, first of all, I don't like to draw out. I mean, some slow burns, they need the build up. Most of that stuff can happen in the first 3 pages, the first 3 chapters at most.
So I love to read some of them, but writing it, because somebody asked me, the same coworker who had your book, she was like, yeah, so that means you're going to get longer books, right? I said, maybe 200. That's it. Because I'm not going over 2. Can't do it. So before we get out of here, I have 2 more questions. We're out. So as a writer, knowing your ups and downs, if someone was watching this for the first time and wanted to be in your shoes, what is some advice would you give them?
Definitely weigh your pros and cons when it comes to signing any contract with anybody, whether you're independent, signing to a publisher, or getting other kind of deals. Please, please, please do your research on the people who are offering these things, because there are people who just want your money. They don't really care about your development. They don't really care about your growth. They just care if you can get them a nice check. And some people are okay with that, but I like to be somewhere where I can learn. I like to be somewhere where I don't become stagnant. I want to be challenged and mentored and taught new things. Like, there are always things changing in this industry when it comes to editing, when it comes to marketing and genres. There are people who will put their book in a genre and it don't fit and readers are mad, and your reviews reflect that because you're not giving them the basic key points in the genre that you're writing in. So yeah, you definitely have to do your research on everything that you do.
Snap, I totally forgot, and they just hit me because I'm looking at my book right now. She does book covers.
Oh, yes.
AG formats. I totally
Yes.
forgot. I don't have the book here. I do not have Grateful Blessings. But if you read Grateful Blessings, she did the interior for Grateful Blessings. Hey, and it was so gorgeous. So I'm totally forgot. I am so sorry. Let's get into that. What made you want to do not only are you writing, but you're also doing formats and stuff like that. So what made you want to get into that?
It started out as I was an indie author, and some of the people who were charging these things were charging way too much than what I could afford. So I said, there has to be a middleman in here somewhere that can give the same quality for a cheaper price. And that's where I came in. I went and took my classes and learned different things so that I could become a graphic designer to help indie authors who can't technically afford the expensive things. You can still get quality content and designs for an affordable price.
And y'all, she does it. And it's a quick turnaround too.
I don't like to keep people money. People be scamming all the time. I'm like, you pay me, you gonna get it in a reasonable time. I don't need y'all knocking down my doors because I don't play about my money and I don't play about other people's money either.
I'll definitely for sure will leave her link in below. And I can't believe that I wrote this earlier this morning and that shit slipped my mind. That is freaking crazy. So the last question before we leave is something that I've been asking all writers since last season, actually, since I started. Because you write Black romance, what does Black romance mean to you?
Black romance is literally my life. I am a Black woman who deserves to be loved. Love is conditional. I don't care. Love, you gotta have some conditions with your love, because you can't accept the bare minimum when there is a man out there who will give you the world on a silver platter. I write love where you don't have to settle. Black romance shows you that you don't have to settle for scraps when there's a man or woman or whoever out there who will give you everything you want and need. And that's just so important, because Black women in society are conditioned. Hey, this man is here, accept what he's giving you, even if it's the bare minimum. And no, we deserve the extravagant love. We deserve to be loved out loud. We deserve to have a moment to be soft with someone. I just like romance. I could talk about this all day.
We are conditioned to have to be like, well, okay, just have that and be happy, not knowing that there's consequences with just selling with anyone, and to be honest, whether good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to be like, one, love yourself, know your boundaries, let that person know your boundaries, And then 3, if they accept them, then work with it. If not, then leave them in the trash where they freaking belong.
Like, and Black women just have it rough. We can't be ourselves a lot of the times in society because we're aggressive or we're mean and things like that. Like, no, we deserve to have standards like everybody else. We are the prize as well, and we should be able to be loved in a way that highlights our needs and wants without feeling attacked by society for doing so.
That is so freaking true. Well, that was all the questions I had. So Mya, thank you so much for joining me. Definitely, guys, check out her work. Like I said, I'll leave her 2 recommendations in the comments below, as well as a link to her new book, Burden of Love. So definitely check that out. Like me and her said before, support your local libraries, please. Because in this situation that the government is having right now, we don't even know if a library will be here by next year. So
literally,
please support them as you can. And once again, I'm Kay Reeves. This is Author Mya, and love you, faith, have confidence. Love you always. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.